Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I've got a very exciting video for you guys because we're going to reorganize my bookshelves. And the reason why I'm so excited about it is simply because I've been looking forward to this for a couple of months. I knew it was coming, but mostly I decided to buy the new bookshelves that I wanted for a couple of years now. I had my eyes on this color for a couple of years and I kept on postponing it, but moving to a new apartment was for me the perfect reason to actually get the new bookshelves, and I'm so happy that I did. I love the color, I love the feel that they give to my living room, and it just fits perfectly with the theme that's going on like in my apartment. I'm really happy that I bought new ones. Hi, if you're new to this channel, my name is Juliette. I mostly talk about books and each Saturday I'm here with a bookish video. So if you like that type of content, I would suggest hit the subscribe button. You would really help me out. And further than that, let me talk you through like the progress of how I want to reorganize everything, and let me also give you some of the reasons why I decided to change up my bookshelves, because I had these very pretty white ones and I really love the white ones. I still do. When I see like my pictures of my old bookshelves, they still make me happy, but for me they had a little bit of a too clean of a look to them. They were a little bit too white, they felt a little bit too modern, and I definitely want to feel my house a little bit more vintagey, a little bit more cottagecore. And for me that feel definitely always comes a little bit more of a wood color bookshelf, and definitely like a darker wood. I'm always really drawn to darker wood, and that was one of the reasons why I decided to go for simply a completely different look. As you can see right behind me, they're still the Billy IKEA ones. Like, I still am going to keep like the same brand of bookshelves because I think they're really good bookshelves. They hold the books very well and they're not that expensive as well, so perfect when it comes to that. I had to buy these in France simply because you can't get this color in the Netherlands anymore. So we actually had to drive to France to get these bookshelves, which was a whole adventure. My parents went on this trip with me and it was just so much fun, and I'm really happy that we did it. I also decided to buy one more. Like I had in my last living room at the last place that we lived, I had like these three sizes. So I had like three bookshelves with bigger size, the one you see behind me, and I had like one smaller one. And now I decided to add like another bigger bookshelf to my bookshelf collection, simply because I wanted a little bit of extra room, extra space, because I keep buying books. So I also feel I need it. And I also wanted to make sure that in case I want another bookshelf somewhere in the future, I had like the same type of color and the same bookshelves that I already had. So that was one of the reasons why I ended up buying an extra bookshelf, which maybe sounds ridiculous, but to me it kind of like made sense. And I also still have like all my children's books at my parents' house. I asked for them, so they're going to bring them to me. And I'm going to go through them because I really don't know how much I actually still have. And I also want those books on my shelves as well. So today we're going to reorganize at least the bookshelves right behind me. The other two are currently in the bedroom, and I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get to those today as well, simply because I'm not entirely sure yet how I want to reorganize those. Probably put like my children's books on those shelves, and I also want to put my graphic novels and my comics there. But I'm not entirely sure, and I haven't really made up my mind yet. It's also very difficult to like reorganize your bookshelves when you do not have like everything here, I suppose. That is something that I realized before filming. So I should have realized that a little bit sooner. But anyhow, we're going to put all the books on the shelves right behind me. I'm not going to give you guys the full finished look of all my bookshelves in this video. That will be like a whole different video where I'll go through all the books, the genres that I have, and I'll show you guys some special editions and stuff like that as well. And I'll show you guys the whole finished look of how all my bookshelves are looking in the whole house. But for today I simply want to like put all my books there and see how it feels and look, because I know myself, I know as soon as I put these books on the shelves, probably going to reorganize, put some other books somewhere else in the next couple of weeks. So I know I always do that after I put like all my books back. I always go through them again. That's something that you'll see like some finished result at the end of this video, but like for a complete finished look of everything that I have, I'll show you guys it like in like a month or so. But anyhow, let's start. I'm going to get like the shelves, put them on in the bookshelves right behind me, and then I'll show you guys what I want to put where. as you can see, I put like all the shelves on the bookshelves. So I really love the look of this. I already started with the Sarah J. Maas books right over here, but I have decided to actually move them all the way up to that shelf. So they will be over there. And this one, like this, all these shelves will be like English classics, thriller, Agatha Christie. I'll put like all of these over there. My Harry Potter collection will go all the way down. I'm thinking putting them in the middle, and I will put like all the fantasy books just over here. I am going to try like to put like the adult fantasy shelves all on this one, and then the young adults slowly going to more of the youth books on there, ending with Harry Potter. I think that will be a nice choice. I have like a couple books of Harry Potter, the Dutch version twice and then the English one. So as you can see, I put like the Sarah J. Maas books right over there. Unfortunately, I didn't have like all the time in the world when I was like packing. So all my books are randomly packed together, or were randomly packed together. And that also means they're currently randomly stacked together. So it's going to take a little bit of organization and searching for all the right books. But I also have like probably a very weird question for you guys. But what do you guys do with like the books that came in book sets? Like for example, Throne of Glass over here in a book set. And to be quite fair, I don't really like the books. I am, however, planning for this one to keep the books, simply because I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to like Throne of Glass. And if I do not like Throne of Glass, I am able to sell it with the books, and that will probably be easier to ship as well. So I am going to keep this one. However, I have like a couple of other book boxes. So like these are all the book sets that I have in boxes as well. And to be fair, I only like this one. I really love the box. It's also very sturdy, very thick material, so it doesn't really like look all weird like the Warrior Cats ones, because this is such a thin material that is just, I don't know, I don't like them. I'm actually thinking of getting rid of these two at least, like the boxes, because even though I like the boxes, you have like the covers on top. This happens to them all the time. Like you can't really pick them up this way. Like you still need to take like the books out of it to gently move them. So I don't know, what do you guys do with the boxes? Like, do you actually keep your books like this? Because I also don't like this box. And I don't really like this box either. However, this one is actually a little bit more of a sturdier material. And this is also books that I kind of like. But at the same time, you never see it. Like, at least I display them simply like this. So you don't really see the boxes anyway. So do you keep the boxes or do you get rid of them? Like, let me know in the comment section down below. Because I'm actually considering getting rid of all the boxes. Except for this one. This one I really like. And it's also very sturdy. I feel it actually has, I don't know, it actually has like a function. But the other ones are just too thin of a material to actually work. Like the Sarah J. Maas one as well, it has actually a very thick material. I just don't like the idea of putting my books in a box. So as you can see, slowly everything is coming together. I really don't know how I'm gonna put everything on the right place. To be quite fair, it is hard to do that. I'm actually thinking of starting with like that over there. There's like the most thrillers and classics. I think I might actually start with this side. Simply put everything all the way on the left so I know how much space I'll have. Because I don't know, I kind of have a feeling that everything that is here, these tags need to go on these shelves. And I don't think it's gonna fit everything, at least not how I want it to fit. I'm also not entirely sure, like I put like all the Sarah J. Maas right over here. I'm not entirely sure if I want like my adult fantasy to be on top or at the bottom. Because I'm also starting to think, what books do I want to showcase to you guys when I film? Because I quite often just sit on the ground. So the lower bookshelves are the ones that are displayed in my videos more often. But I kind of want to show Tolkien as well. So that's one of the reasons why I am not entirely sure. Like right now, this is just a very weird collection. Like I've got all my Tolkien and then the ones on the right should not be there because they're romantasy, so they should be somewhere here in the collection, I think. I don't know, it's so hard. Okay, this is also one of the reasons why I know I can't show you the full finished result, because I don't know. I know I'm gonna rearrange everything after I'm done today. Like, well, not everything, but I'll probably like shift up some books here and there. Currently, I have like how I had it in my other house as well. Agatha Christie on top, then some murder mysteries, detective, thrillers just in the corner. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them. I had like my Jane Austen collection like in the middle. I'm actually now considering moving Jane Austen one down, so I can put like my historical collection over there, like the books from Hilary Mantel, books I have from Philippa Gregory and stuff. I might actually put that right beside, well, the thrillers and stuff, and then maybe go down and then go to everything else. Simply because I wanted to put like all my English classics like right below there, and then like the historical ones down there. But as you can see, I've got like a couple of bigger books that I can't put on the higher shelves because I don't have enough room. Or I can put them like right beside Jane Austen, I suppose. I think that's everything from Jane Austen. I don't know, I'm probably going to rearrange a couple of things later, but I think for the goal for now is to kind of like fill everything up and then see how I feel later on, I suppose, and see if I want to change some things up or if I'll leave how everything is. it's actually the other day. Like yesterday I stopped filming, I stopped organizing because I was overwhelmed. I will be honest, I was overwhelmed. Simply because the things that I had in mind in how I wanted to fill my bookshelves and where I wanted to put all the books didn't really go as I had in mind. And I'm definitely like having to get used to the fact that I do not longer have like my smaller bookshelves in between two bigger ones, because it was like the perfect way of continuing a book series. Like I would have like the Warrior Cat series, and then the last part would be like in the smaller bookshelves. But what I had in my other house was like Harry Potter, and then it would go over to the other bookshelf, but then it was like a smaller bookshelf, but it would like make the series complete right from like from the beginning to the end, like on the same height. And I did that same thing with Warrior Cat. And I also really liked this little bookshelf in the way you could like decorate it. I kind of feel, I don't know, I'm a little bit lost with these bigger ones. And I had the bigger ones in my older apartment as well, but this time around, if I want to continue a certain book series, for Warrior Cat's example, or you can't really see it up from here, but I will have to put like other books beside it. And I don't know, I just got confused yesterday. It didn't really go as I had planned. And I just, when the battery died of my camera, I kind of figured that it was like the perfect opportunity for me to take a break and think about it. And that's kind of like what I did. I kept staring at my bookshelves for quite an embarrassing amount of minutes and not doing anything. Just I stood here and I just stared at them, and I was like, I don't know how to do this, but I have a plan. I have a plan. And my plan for today is this. One, I want to get all the books inside of this bookshelves. Like I want the living room to be done. I also would love to tackle like the smaller bookshelf in my bedroom to try and see how that works with comics. At the same time, I'm also a little bit scared because I do have like some comics and graphic novels that are quite big of a size, so I'm not entirely sure if like the smaller bookshelf is the right one to go for, but we'll see. Like I'll try and figure it out and see if I am able to do that today as well. My other bookshelf I will organize obviously off camera, and you guys see like the full finished result after I have my other books from my parents' house here, because I'm also missing them. That was also something that I realized yesterday, is it is quite hard to figure out how many books I have over there, because it has been 6 years since I last saw my books. And they are like all in the box, and I really don't know what is in the box exactly. I know mostly are children's books from my childhood, but I don't really know what is in there, how much is in there, how much I saved. So I'll see that when my dad has been able to find them, and I'll open it, I'll see how much it is, and I'll probably have to go through them as well. But anyhow, I am a little nervous because I don't know how much it is, and that is definitely a little bit harder to try and fill in like the bigger bookshelf in my bedroom, because I want to put like the majority of those books over there, hopefully like all of them. But I also hope that there is still like place left or room left to put like other books. That's kind of like the dilemma. I kind of like hope you understand why I quit yesterday, because all of that was like running through my mind, and I was like, I don't know how to do this if I do not have like all my books here. I still don't, but I don't know when I will get them, so these need to go here. So let me go through my plan for today. First of the things that I actually did was get out all of my knickknacks that were on my bookshelves in my other two homes that I lived, and my new stuff as well, because there are a couple of knickknacks that I still want to put on the same place or the same way in my bookshelves. And I figured let's start with that as well, simply because then I know how much room I have around that to put like all the books. So I got like most of my knickknacks unpacked, and they're all ready to go. Not all of them will go inside of the bookshelves. A couple of them will go somewhere else. Like these ones will go on top of the bookshelf, and I think I might do that first. However, they are so cute that I kind of am wondering if I should put it like on the top, or maybe put it like on a lower shelf so you can actually see them a little bit more of on eye level height. But anyhow, these are like all the knickknacks that I want to put as much of them inside the bookshelf. Then I have my Virginia Andrews collection right over here. I really don't know what to do with this, to be quite fair. I loved Virginia Andrews as a teenager, and I just devoured all her books. I read almost everything by her. But as an adult, I realized that I do kind of like the ones that were my favorites back in the day, but unfortunately, rereading them, I don't know, I don't like them as much as I used to do. So I'm a little bit conflicted if I want to keep all of them. I've already decided to take out one series. It's a Delilah series, because that one I really don't like. So that one's gonna go, but these ones are all gonna stay, at least for now, but I'm gonna move them to my bedroom. I really hope I'm not gonna regret this, and I do hope I have the room left over there. But this whole stack I'm going to move to my bedroom, put them there, and that's it. Then I have my Harry Potter collection. This is not all of my Harry Potter collection. Like, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so obviously I have my new Dutch editions. That's the hardback. My old ones, my originals, are in my bedroom currently. They're like paperbacks, completely read through. And then I have like my English ones that I bought, some special ones. And then I have a couple of other J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter related books over here. I had like all my Harry Potter books on these living room shelves in my other house. But now I've decided to make one Harry Potter shelf. It's going to be on the bottom of the bookshelf because I want to protect them from the light as much as possible. Because as you can see, especially these have colored quite a lot because of the sun. So I think they are the safest over here, as low as possible, hidden behind the couch and the chair that's going to be in front of the bookshelves. But I want to make like one shelf over here, and that's the shelf that I'm gonna start off today. So this is a shelf that I'm gonna do first with the knickknacks that I want to have here in the living room. And then I'll take everything that is not able to be on this shelf to my bedroom and recreate a Harry Potter shelf over there as well. So in my other house, in my other bookshelves, I had like 2 shelves from Harry Potter. I will not be doing that in this living room, just have one and then one in the bedroom. So I'm gonna start over here because I don't know, it's like the shelf that I kind of figured out. So I'm gonna start over here. And then I also did something else. The thing that I did, as you kind of like maybe see and hear and of the sound as well, I'm currently filming with my kind of like more of the vlogging camera that I use for vlogging and taking around the house. But this is like my normal camera that I use for my sit down videos. It's like my photography camera. And I use that one just right now, just to see for the background of my YouTube videos. That may sound ridiculous, but at the same time, in my older apartment, I was sometimes a little bit annoyed that the books that I would love to showcase were like on the higher shelves, and that books were lower, that I were not the ones that I was like really proud of, or my special editions, or the ones that I thought were maybe a little bit more interesting to Booktube. You get what I mean, like the more popular ones. So what I have decided, or what I just did, was using this camera simply so now you actually see a little bit of the mess behind me of the living room, but do not take account in that. But what I did was seeing which bookshelves will kind of like be on display for my YouTube videos. And so the ones that are mostly on display are like the lower shelf. Obviously, there are going to be like these 2 shelves, these two, and you'll be able to see these 2 a little bit as well. And then you will see this one, that one, and this will be a little bit more in a darker shade of shadow, simply because it's like a little bit lower. So you won't really notice that. So that means that the top 2 shelves of each bookshelf you do not see on the videos. Unless, of course, I film standing. I have decided that first I'm gonna do in my Harry Potter bookshelf. Like, I'm gonna do that one. I'll probably also do the one in my bedroom straight away. Then I'll put the Virginia Andrews books all in my bedroom as well. I'll show you the result later towards the end of this video. And then I am going to put all the books from down to up, the ones that I really want to showcase in my Booktube videos. And then everything else that is kind of like left over is going to be on the top. So I think it's a better approach than I had yesterday, trying to recreate the bookshelves I had in my older apartment, but then without a certain bookshelf that I'm missing by recreating them, because it's not really possible to recreate them with this setting. I think that approach is a lot better, and yeah, I should stop rambling and get on with it. I just remembered why I always put like only books on the bottom shelves instead of also knickknacks. Because I have Sissy and Sissy steals the knickknacks. So I'm a little bit concerned for this little guy and my niffler. I don't think she'll get the niffler, but I do think she is going to get this one. But I'm also maybe thinking on putting him up higher, but then she might even like it more to play with. I haven't really thought that one out yet, so I'm gonna try this out, see how it goes, and otherwise I might move this shelf one higher. I put my Sarah J Maas books just over here because this one completely fills up the shelf, especially since I now have the Throne of Glass series as well. So that's great. I still have to fill that one up too. And I moved a couple of my special editions. These are all special editions. Well, these are, well, not that special, but they're quite pretty. So I figured they might match with these two as well, and kind of like with the height. So I put all of these over here, and yeah, I suppose we should just keep on continuing. that the camera won't be falling because you're like balancing on a couple of pillows, so that's probably also the weird angle. But anyhow, there is some progress coming into my bookshelves. Like this one over there, I think is done, at least for now. Like I'm not entirely happy with a couple of ways they are standing, but for now I think I'm going to get used to it and see if I want to change something later on. I'm also planning on getting rid of a couple of classics. I've got them over here. I got War and Peace, The Great Gatsby, Madame Bovary and 1984. I know my parents would think I'm ridiculous for getting rid of these, but I don't like them. I have to admit that I never read War and Peace, and maybe I should. But I can always like borrow it either from my parents or from the library, and I don't see myself reading this anytime soon. So this is actually the only one that I'm doubting. I don't like any of these. Like I read all 3 of them, and my parents really enjoy all 3, and I don't. I really don't like them. So I am actually getting rid of these because I don't see myself revisiting these ones, and I think I should make someone else happy with them, because they will only take up room on my shelves, and I only want to keep on the books that I really enjoy. And this one I just don't know. I don't see myself reading it anytime soon. So you have to see the unhaul. Like there's an unhaul coming because I have another stack of books right over here, and I've got another one on top of the table. If you hear any noise, by the way, I decided to open the door to the balcony because it's starting to become quite warm inside of here. The sun is shining currently inside the living room, so it's slowly getting a little bit warmer. But anyhow, I made some progress. And something else that I did, I decided to kind of like categorize all the remaining books left by series and authors and the way I kind of want to put them on the shelves. So I've put them all on the ground, and hopefully this will help me put them back on the shelves as well, to see how much room I need for each bookshelf. But yeah, I'm kind of like happy, not entirely happy with this shelf. I'm gonna change that one up. I kind of want to put like the 2 book stands, the cat ones, together on one shelf, and I'm thinking of putting there the books from Kerry Maniscalco and also Serpents and Dove, and the other one, not entirely sure if that goes together on one shelf with cats, but I'm planning on trying to do that. And yeah, we need to start doing something about the top of these shelves. it's done. Like, I am currently done with all my books. They're all back on the shelves and I'm happy with the result for now. There are definitely a couple of shelves that I'm not entirely happy with and I kind of want to play around with a little bit more to see what I prefer. But for now, I'm happy with the result. I also will show you guys how the comic book section is currently looking and the other bookshelf in my bedroom too. They're obviously not finished yet either, but at least for now this is finished. So these are the main bookshelves in the living room and currently they are looking like this. I am not entirely happy with this bookshelf, even though I have quite some room left. So that is something that always makes me happy on a bookshelf. But also the top shelf, I wanted Brandon Sanderson a little bit more downwards, closer to talking. But yeah, I don't know. Currently it's looking like this and I think I am quite happy. Also this shelf with Twilight books, I'm not entirely sure about it yet, but for now it will do. This is like one of the shelves I'm really not happy about. Like, I love this, but I do not like the fact that series number 3 is over here. So I might see if I can change this up a little bit. And I'm not entirely happy with this, how this looks either. So yeah, this is kind of like the random bookshelves currently, like all the books that I didn't know where to go with. I put them all over there. And these are kind of like the shelves I am most happy about. And they probably will not get a lot of changes. I'm just really happy how this is currently looking. So this is the little shelf in my bedroom. I've got like all my comics and graphic novels. I've put them all here for now. I'm not entirely sure yet what to think of this. Like, I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with this. I might put other books in here as well. So I'll see how I rearrange this. I'm not entirely happy. But for now it will do, and I have at least a lot of room to get like more comics and graphic novels. So that's something that I am quite interested about, but at the same time there's quite a lot of room left. So I could probably utilize it for something else or other books too. Then for now the other shelves in my bedroom are currently looking like this. As I said before, I still need to fill them up with like the other books I'm going to get from my parents. Like, I'm absolutely not happy with this yet, but when I have like all my other books here, it's probably a lot easier to make this a little bit more how I want it to look. So for now, this will do. So that kind of like brings me to the end of this video. Like, my battery is dying as well, so I'll make it quick. I just really hope you kind of enjoyed this reorganizing and going with me through the whole process and all my thoughts about everything as well. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are. If you actually have any ideas in how to reorganize certain shelves that I just mentioned that I'm not entirely happy about. And please also let me know what you guys do with like the boxes from the book boxes you don't like. Because I am still a little bit conflicted about it as well. I do not entirely like the boxes on my shelf. But at the same time, not entirely sure where to keep them otherwise. So let them know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I really hope to see you guys in the next video. Have an amazing week and see you guys next Saturday again. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.